We are having so much fun, and we know you're going to love our next guest. His name is Tony Walker, and he is a comedy guy. Comedy cures everything. So.
Absolutely. I had cancer at the age of 32, and I do believe that the laughter and the positive attitude got me through it just as much as the medications did, which led to the comedy troupe that I run called Knockem Comedy. We do dinner theater, murder mysteries, game shows, kid shows. We're not stand-up or anything like that, just comedy shows, variety shows.
You go to restaurants and where else? Like theaters?
Restaurants, private parties, corporate events, fundraisers. Did I say fundraisers?
Fundraisers, firehouses.
The comedy shows, they're murder mysteries, they're audience participation. It's a scripted show because there's clues and hints that have to go out, but it's not a don't blink or you'll miss something. It's not Agatha Christie.
Right.
It's a comedy. It's lighthearted, but one of the characters does get killed,
right.
And then the audience has to figure out who did it and why. And if it's a private party or a corporate event, we personalize it to fit their event.
Now, do you ask the audience for help with the mysteries? Or
Yeah, they solve it.
All by themselves.
Based on what they saw during the show, we even give them a little section where they can interrogate the suspects.
Oh, that's
and,
fun.
So we'll deflect, deny, point fingers at other characters, but everybody makes the rounds throughout the whole room and talks to people.
The show is guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed fun.
Totally.
Everywhere we go,
always.
Everybody loves that show.
The audience they just get so involved, and there's just such a part of the show, and that makes it even better.
Other things that you do aside
Yeah,
from
we
mystery.
do game shows.
Oh, the game show, we have a podium with lights and buzzers and sounds, and it's basically
Like
a
a
trivia
Family
game
Feud.
show, or it could be, again, we ad-lib with that too. So they may want a trivia game show, but if we show up and they're a loud, boisterous group and they're a lot of fun, we could ask them to do funny physical challenges or do some karaoke or whatever, or name that tune, whatever we feel like doing, and they'll be willing to do. We'll take it there.
What movie introduced the phrase, "There's no crying in baseball"?
What letter comes after A? Go ahead. B is correct!
Is there a favorite skit that you do that just still cracks you up every time you do it?
We do a lot of audience participation murder mystery shows, comedic murder mystery shows. And there's two shows. We have a mob show. We're in New York. You have to have the mob shows. And we have a redneck wedding, which is just
Oh, that I have
it's
to
a
come
lot
see
of
that
fun.
one.
You're welcome
Yeah!
anytime. Anytime. In fact, I even
Well,
brought
growing
you a
up in
shirt.
St. Louis, Missouri, I have to say, you did?
Oh, of course I did. That you will wear
Hey!
everywhere you go. In fact, I have a whole bunch there. I'm giving one out to everybody.
Everywhere I go. Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
Knockem Comedy.
Oh, that's great.
Can I
Knockem
pretend I'm
Comedy.
drinking something?
Excellent. Yeah, you can pretend like
Thanks,
you're drinking something.
I'm having fun on the set.
We actually do put water in it when guests ask.
Just
we
not
do. But
this
if you
guest,
but if you don't ask ahead of time, wait. This one's full of water. You ready?
Nice.
1, 2, 3. All right. There you go.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for now.
The Knockem Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Thursday. It is December 1st. Can you believe it's December already? Craziness. Let me fix this. How's that? Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. We're having all sorts of weird stuff going on in here this morning. Thanks for joining us today here on the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast, the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. I'm Tony. Nice to see you. Still getting over the cold. Bear with me if I got to turn the mic off to cough and whatnot. Still getting over it. Almost there. Almost there. Definitely feeling a lot better each and every day. Thanks for joining us today here on the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Good to see you. Thursday, December 1st. Can't believe it's December. Crazy. Time just flies. Flies, I tell you. We got a fun show coming your way today. We got Sophia, the New York Medium. She'll be joining us very shortly. She's gonna do a reading on me. I'm a little nervous. She's going to find out about all the people I killed. I don't know what that even means. Hope everybody's well today. Thank you for joining us here on Twitch. Nope. There you go. Right there. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share the link all over the place, all over your social media places. We'd really appreciate it. Speaking of which, that's what I usually do when I'm running all those videos in the morning before I start. I'm usually, sharing the link all over the place. I'm having all sorts of issues with Facebook this morning. You guys having problems with Facebook? I don't know if you are or not. Let me know. But, yeah, I'm having all sorts of problems. I couldn't share the link. But I'm not sure if it's Facebook. It might be this room. We got these monitors. This monitor here. You always hear me complaining about the monitor where we can read the comments and stuff that, we see behind the scenes.
that monitor's not working. I have another monitor that's not working. So I'm not really sure. It's been a weird couple of days. We had this here in New York, Long Island. We had a rainy, windy day yesterday, but it wasn't really, it wasn't like anything special. It wasn't anything spectacular. It wasn't anything to talk about. But it seemed like a lot of weird stuff happened. I saw there's a business building, an office building across the street from my mother's. That place went out of power yesterday. Good morning, Jeff Bosey. Good to see you. Last night I went to Stop and Shop, did some shopping, and I'm walking out and I'm walking through the parking lot. I didn't even get to my car yet. I'm just walking. All of a sudden, I'm just in black, and that has a different meaning when it comes to Jeff Bosey. But I'm just in black, so I had to stop. The whole Stop and Shop went out, and I remember thinking to myself, this was not that bad of a day. Why is everybody losing power? I don't know. It was just weird, and it seems like anytime there's just like a little inch, like a slight bit of rain, this room gets all funky. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. So, I couldn't share the link this morning on Facebook. Like, Jeff has a bunch of comedy pages. There's all sorts of comedy pages and podcast pages and pages of pages. And I usually share the link to see the show. And I couldn't do it this morning. I was having all sorts of Facebook issues. I don't know if that's me. Probably me. It's probably me. Yeah, see, now these monitors just went. See, you can see it, right? You see that? Did you see that? That monitor went out. All the monitors went out at once. And then it came. This is like the lead one. Like, this is the master. And all the other ones feed off this one. But, yeah, I don't know what in the world is going on around here. Cough. Sorry. Just getting over this cold. It was nothing but a cold. I didn't have the vid. Everything's good. Just a cold. It didn't help that last week when I played Santa, I was doing it in a room with no heat. Although I think it was definitely allergies, I think, before that. Maybe it was allergies all the time. I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's what's going on here. Yesterday I was driving. So I went to Stop and Shop. Walking through the parking lot, all of a sudden I'm just in black. I actually had to adjust my eyes for a second. Like, Stop and Shop was all dark, which was weird to me because usually places like that, like the malls, the supermarkets, they have backup generators, which this one did, but it took at least a good minute for it to come on. So usually it's quicker than that, So when it first happened, I was like, why are there no backup generators? What is going on? Are we being attacked? So it was just a weird thing. So I get in the car and I'm driving back with my groceries. And I'm going through a side street. And I stop at a stop sign. And then I continue. And sure enough, vroom, this woman comes through. She had a stop sign on her side. And she blew right through it. And even gave me a look. Almost like she knew she did it. But she didn't give me the wave. She didn't say... she didn't do anything. She just gave me a look. Like she was entitled. So I just stopped. I slammed on the brakes and went. And I just got the look. Which makes you mad even more, doesn't it? Usually when somebody, not fesses up, when they acknowledge that they messed up, just give that's all. Just, they don't have to throw you money or, whip out their breasts or anything. Just. And that immediately calms people down when you're driving, right? You just want to scream, and then you get the wave. You're like, and you let it go. But when they feel they're entitled, that enrages you even more, doesn't it? You want to follow that person, beat them. So, as I mentioned, Sophia, the New York Medium. She is going to be joining us shortly. She's going to do a reading on me. She's going to promote her show. She is playing here at Governor's this Saturday, 3 o'clock showtime. Doors open at 1, so come on in early, get yourself some lunch. I'm going to cough again. Okay. 1 o'clock, the doors open, get yourself some lunch. They have great food here at Governor's. Enjoy a good meal, have a drink, sit back, and enjoy Sophia, the New York Medium, at 3 o'clock in the Giggle Room. That's, Saturday. Go to govs.com. Lots of great stuff going on this weekend. So many great shows. This is one of those weekends, for me personally, where I get mad that I can't be here. I'm not going to be here this weekend, but I'm mad about it. Friday night at Governor's, you got Rich Aronovich, one of my personal favorites, was on this show once. We had an absolute blast with him. Joe DeVito, who is just amazing. Like I said, Sophia, the New York Medium. Vic DiBitetto. This is all on Saturday. Vic DiBitetto with Elise DeLucci opening up. She's amazing. I heard something about Marla Schultz hanging around here. Eric Tartaglione in the Giggle Room. I mean, if that's not a perfect night of comedy, I don't know what is. The only thing that would make Tartaglione's show better is if I was in it. I'm just saying that because I was supposed to be on that show. I never found out why I wasn't. Tartaglione personally told me he wanted me on that show. But yeah, great lineup Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday here this weekend, I got to find out the details. Sunday night here at Governor's, they're having a fundraiser for Tony Prisco, and I don't know who that is, so my apologies. But I'm going to find out who that is. But even if you don't know who that is, it's still a great night. Mike Keegan, Fat J, Dan LaRocco, Roseanne Sorrentino, Bridget Kavanaugh, Rob White, John Butera. Well, John Butera, we could do with that. But so it's just a great weekend. And then, of course, you got McGuire's out east. I believe Aronovich might be doing a night there. I know Joe DeVito is doing one of the nights there. So go to govs.com and make reservations. Lots of great stuff this weekend alone at Governor's. Great stuff. Great stuff, I tell you. And like I said, Sophia, New York Medium, she'll be here Saturday, and she'll be here on this show in just a few minutes. So, but I guess the big sad news, cough. I guess the big news is, the passing of Christine McVie. I guess that's the big news, right? It's weird. Christine McVie, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people are like, oh, that's sad. A lot of people my age anyway. But I don't think, if the name itself doesn't really affect a lot of people, but then you have to remind yourself, because she was in Fleetwood Mac, and she was in that band with so many other bigger names and larger than life characters. I mean, Mick Fleetwood is a nut job himself, but yeah, Christine McVie is in this band with Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. If Stevie Nicks died, people would be like, "Ah!" Just like that. "Ah!" But Christine McVie deserves that same amount of affection, but she's a little in the background in that band because of the other names. But you look at her work. If you just played Christine McVie's songs from Fleetwood Mac, that would still be a legendary band. Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow, right? That was her. Maybe that's her now. See that? As soon as I pointed, it lit up again. Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow. Say You Love Me. Over My Head. Hold Me. Remember that song? I used to love that song. Songbird. My goodness, what a great tune. Even some solo stuff. She had some good solo stuff, too. Got a Hold on Me, right? Remember that song? If you grew up in the 70s and 80s, you remember these songs. And even if they don't ring a bell right now, you look them up, I guarantee you'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember that song. Great musician, great songwriter, and I'm sure I left songs out. Everywhere, right? That's been playing in the car commercial lately, right? Oh, I want to be with you everywhere. That's why she sings and I don't. Little Lies. Yeah, great. So many great songs. So, As Long As You Follow. What a great tune that one was. So, yeah, very sad in the world of music. Christine McVie passing away at the age of 79. I think the next 10 years, if you like classic rock like I do, I think the next 10 years are going to be pretty rough. You know, because all the big classic rockers are in their 70s. Some of them are in their 80s. I mean, McCartney and Starr, they're in their 80s. I think David Crosby's 80. Yeah, I think the next 10 years are going to be pretty rough. I think they're all going to start dropping. The major names in rock are going to start dropping. It's weird, man. It's just, again, just like I said, December 1st already, I am always amazed at how time flies. It's just crazy to me. Goff. I'm going to be giving children colds this weekend to Santa Claus. That's my gift to you guys as I play Santa at White Post Farms Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Thank God it's not 3 days again. I'm doing a nice job of promoting this gig, aren't I? All right. So, you know what I'm going to do? Should I play a video and then set up Sophia? Nah. I was going to, but I don't think I'm going to. All right. So, all right. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring her in and get right to it. Sophia New York Medium playing at the Giggle Room this weekend. All right. Let's. Is there anything else I needed to bring up before I get to her? Sorry, my apologies. No, I'm just gonna bring her in right now. Here we go. All right, everybody. We are here with Sophia New York Medium. That's what you prefer to go by, right? Sophia New York Medium?
Whatever. New York Medium, Sophia Murata. I am easy, Tony.
So am I.
Call me anything. Not a bad word, but call me anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, calling myself easy has a different meaning from what you're talking about.
I can bet.
So how are you?
I am good.
Yeah?
I am good. Yep.
Are you excited about Saturday?
I am.
Is this going to be your first time here?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes, it is. I'm really excited. Feel it's going to be a really good night, intimate night. Feel it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. And I feel, when I do something, the people around me, their vibes are really important to me.
Right.
And I feel it's all going to be good. Good people, good energy. So, I'm not going to be looking to run out of there.
Right. It is a great place, and lots of people, just talk about how much they love it here. So good audiences, good people. So yeah, I think you're gonna have everybody, yourself included, is gonna have a great time. And good. we're glad you're gonna be here. And it's and it's gonna be here at Governor's in Levittown, right?
Yes.
Because it was originally the brokerage. It's been moved.
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be in the Giggle Room.
Right. Okay.
I believe.
Right. And at what time? It's a nighttime show or?
Yeah, 3.
Oh, okay. 3 o'clock.
It's going to be an afternoon.
I see it. Yep. Doors open at 1. Show starts at 3. Yeah, I see that now. Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. So that's a fun afternoon. And the room holds about 100. Does it matter to you? When you're doing your, I don't know, what do you call it? Do you call it a show? I don't even know what you call it.
Like I said, I'm easy. You could call it whatever.
So when you make an appearance like this, does it matter, what the room is like, or how many? The room?
You know what? It's not so much the amount of people in the room. It's the vibration of the room. It's the vibration of the crowd, the people in the room. I could do an event, and there could be 20 people in the room, and they could be, I don't want to say difficult to read, but maybe not comfortable with it. Like they want to connect with their loved ones. I've been doing this a very long time. I was born with disability.
Oh.
So I've been told, as far back as I can remember. And, everybody wants to know their loved ones are okay and peace and in heaven, you know, and okay. And some people are a little, they don't know what to expect. They're a little, I don't want to say freaked out by it, but apprehensive about it would be a good word.
Sure.
And some people are like, I don't care. I just want to know anything, and it's easy. So it's not so much the amount of people, it's the energy that they bring.
Okay, sure.
You know, and those people, I really try. I have no control. I have no idea on who comes through. I don't have them on speed dial. I can't pick up my phone and, you know, dial 1-800-MAMA, you know. It doesn't work that way. When I do an event, I have no control over who comes through.
Right.
I leave it to them. They know who needs it more, who needs it the most.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. And, you know, I just follow their lead. I have, as I said, been doing this many years, and I learned to trust them. I learned to trust them.
Sure.
It may be the silliest, seeming to me insignificant thing, but to that person that I'm reading, it could be a huge validation.
Right. So I mean, I've seen other, you know, mediums on TV where they talk about it. So is it the same where you'll see a number or you'll see a reference or something that makes sense to you, and then, you know, and then you know, relay it back, and then, you know,
I like to say I just deliver the mail. I don't read the mail.
you're just the messenger. That's right.
I'm just the messenger. And like when I was waiting to talk to you, I kept on seeing the number 10.
Oh.
I don't know what significance that has, if it's a birthday or...
Come on, you just look at this and see it's a 10.
This is true. This is
right.
true.
Thanks for helping me out on that.
But you know, it's all different. You know, I like to equate it as how we could speak all different languages. That's how they feel to me. You know, who's speaking Spanish, who's speaking English. They communicate all different ways, and that was what was difficult for me at the beginning, to learn to tune my ear into that.
Sure. Right.
Sometimes I'll hear a voice. I'm not schizophrenic, I promise, even though my husband will say I am sometimes. But after married 45 years, I guess he's okay to say that.
What? Did you just say 45 years?
Yeah, I was a baby. He robbed the cradle.
I was going to say, would you get married at 2? What's going on here?
I did.
Holy moly.
Did. But,
excuse me, 45 years. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you. And we never fought a day.
Of course,
as
of
he
course.
would say.
All right, so let me go back a little bit. So you said you've always have had this ability. You know, I don't. Is that what you would call it, an ability?
It's like growing up with something and not really understanding it, but kind of thinking. And I do believe we all have spirituality. We all have psychic abilities, especially children. You know, I always tell people, listen to the babies, the children, even when they're not verbalizing yet. You know, if they're looking at a corner in their room and giggling and laughing all the time, you know, there's something going on there.
Yep, agreed.
And you know, it's something that I grew up with, at times not knowing what I was dealing with.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because that must have been very confusing growing up that way.
It was an Italian American Brooklyn Catholic girl, you know, dealing with this, and it was, you know, it's so much more, and I'm so grateful. It's so much more accepted now.
Sure.
You know, Tony, with shows, with people opening up, and, you know, also, you know, life is tough nowadays. Life is hard. And I feel that it's something, whatever you want to say, you know, God, the universe, Buddha, whoever, wants us to have, to help us maybe open our hearts to, this is not just it, at the end of the day, they don't close the box and that's it. There is a heaven.
Right.
I talk to it all the time. So I think it gives people hope and peace and, healing, especially when somebody loses somebody, suddenly.
Yeah.
There's no, opportunity to say goodbye.
Well, all right, yeah, that actually leads to a question that I had, which you pretty much answered already. But why do you think people need to connect so bad? Is it so that they can have that closure and saying goodbye? Because a lot of people, unfortunately, people die every day. I mean, and that's
right.
Usually it. Why do you think people need to have that closure, though? Especially like if they're in heaven, then they're hearing already. So why do you think people need that validation so bad?
I feel it's just that last, especially, at the end of someone's journey here, physicalness here on earth. I think it sounds, I hate to sound like a cliche, but it's all about, love. I love you and, thank you for being in my life and, being a great mom or dad or, whatever.
Okay.
I think we just need that one last opportunity to say that, to have our closure and, we're human, we're all not perfect. We all have, regrets along the way, things that, we may want to say to somebody.
Sure.
And people tell me all the time, can you tell my mom I love her? Can you tell my dad I'm sorry? Whatever. And they do come around. They do come around and check in on us. The other day I was reading a lady and I was telling her, your father's telling me about your keys. And she was like, oh my goodness, I was rushing out, Christmas shopping, all this and everything. And I couldn't find my keys and they were in like the refrigerator. She put the milk away and had the keys in her hand. And I says, well, your dad was laughing his pants off because he thought it was hysterical that you put the keys in the refrigerator. And, he was there, how would I know that? How would I know she put her keys in the refrigerator?
Right.
So, I think, I know that they come around and we can talk to them ourselves and they send signs. They send signs all the time. And a lot of times you can't, you want to believe it, but, it's like, oh, it's my imagination. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. I would say like 90% of the times, if you ask them for another sign, okay, I found that feather on my kitchen floor and I just mopped the floor. I want to believe it's grandma, but that human mind comes into play.
Right. Well, why do you think people like I've always found that fascinating. Like people will talk about talking to a medium. People will talk about aliens, and people, it's just like it's almost like automatic where it's considered, no, that's crazy. Where I'm thinking, well, I guess anything's possible. Why would we be the only life form? Why wouldn't there be aliens? Why wouldn't there be somebody, coming through? That's the way I see it. So, and I've always found it interesting that people have to, why would they second guess themselves with that? Maybe that feather on the floor is a sign. Maybe
right.
I have a friend that, and I don't remember why, but for some reason, every time she finds a dime, she
thinks it's her dad.
It's her brother actually, and I can't tell you how many times she'll send me a picture of a dime or stuff like that. And maybe about a year ago we were talking about it. Sure enough, maybe about 2 hours later, I go out to my car and there's a dime on the floor of my car.
There you
So
go.
what the hell? Like it's
There you go.
and that why not? Maybe I don't know. Plus, I just think it gives us more of a positive outlook on things that there is more, especially after this shit that we have in this world.
It kind of makes you not take things so heavy that we're dealing with in life. I
Right.
Tony, kind of like, I like to equate our time here on earth as being in school. You know, we graduate and then we graduate, get our diploma, and you know, we check out and we're in paradise. You know, we're in heaven, kind of thing.
Right, right.
And like I said, things are. It's you know, we've just as human beings gotten so like I just feel energetically stressed out and heavy and you know worried about this and I just feel it's a way to kind of make us take it a little lighter and step back and smell the roses. I hate to say, but you know, okay, you know, we're going to be okay, you know, we're going to get through this and things are going to work out.
Right. Yep.
Sort of thing.
So I was looking at your website. I got a few questions regarding your website. It says master psychic and evidential medium. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? Evidential, I mean, medium, obviously.
I always ask for evidence. The last thing I want to sound in a reading is vague.
Okay.
I'll always ask them for evidence.
What do you mean you'll ask them for evidence? Like to something that like to back up what's coming through to you?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. The other day I was doing a reading and I was reading this woman and she had a very abusive relationship.
Okay.
So much so that he ended up in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Okay.
It was really, really bad. And I was being shown that, you know, nobody should go through that. Don't get me wrong. But I was being shown that she was going to take that experience that she went through and that trauma that she went through, and she was going to do something with it.
Okay.
To give back.
Sure.
And she just couldn't see it, Tony. Like, you know, she just couldn't see it. And I know I was communicating with both her mom and dad. You know, at the same time, they were piggybacking each other. And all of a sudden, her father tells me, tell her about the car. Tell her about the car. Tell her about the car's tires. And I says, your dad is saying, you know, something with your car tires. And she was like, oh my God, I was rushing out to work and my eye, you know, I need tires. I know I need tires. And my eye went to the tire and my tire was flat. So to me, that was his validation and mom's validation that she's going to get through this. She's going to come out the other end. And she's actually going to be a counselor and help women. You know, nobody could understand you unless you walked in those shoes. So, and the thing that insignificant, silly little thing about her car's tires was her dad's validation evidence that I was communicating with him and
Right.
he was glimpsing into her future and saying she was going to be okay. And it kind of was like this aha moment for her. It meant so much, a silly thing, her tire going flat, but yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes that's what it takes, right? Something silly and what you think is minuscule like that, yeah.
Absolutely. It's always the little things. It's always the little things that, for me, I find are most impactful for people.
Now, the website also says that you answer with accuracy, compassion, and truth in a warm and non-judgmental manner.
Yeah.
It must be hard though. Like you said, you talk to somebody who was in a very abusive relationship, but she was the victim. But I'm assuming you like would once in a while come across the abuser. Like it must be hard to be non-judgmental based on what some of these people have done or what you know about them.
You know, they don't get very specific. I'll feel shades or the vibration of something, not, so nice.
Right.
But it's always, I'm sorry, the apology comes and, Tony, what we are here as human beings, we're not on the other side. We lose our ego and our pride. Those are the first emotions to go, ego and pride and jealousy and all that. and greed. They're so different, and some people take time to heal on the other side, and some people are just jump into it and they're fine. They could communicate, they're great, they're happy and all. It depends. As individual as we all are, that's an individual, their experiences on the other side.
Right.
So I don't try to judge. There was a woman that I read many, many years ago. I think her review is on my website. I think it's one of them. And she, I was doing a reading for her, and she wanted to connect to her ex-boyfriend who had crossed over. And her big thing was giving her AIDS.
Oh, wow.
And it was before we even knew what AIDS was. And her big thing was, did he know, what was going on and everything? And she's, thank God, lived, a long life and everything. And that was like her big question, like, did he know? And he was like, I knew something was wrong, but I never thought it was anything like that.
Right.
So it was a huge healing for her to know that.
Wow.
And even if he did know, I would really venture to say he would really truly be sorry, because he would see what he did to her life and what he caused her.
Yeah, sure.
So,
but
yeah.
I don't know if you watch The Sopranos, but there was that one scene where Paulie, one of the main characters, goes to an open reading, and and all of his victims that he whacked come back.
Oh, wow.
So the medium turns to him, says, he starts sending him some messages. So and so says this, and so says that, and
I have not seen that episode.
Excuse me. And he eventually does. He says, "All right, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." He said they were all lining up. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, and then there were a couple of, like you just mentioned, some reviews on your website, which there's a ton of them, and they're all great reviews. But there were two that struck me, and I'll read them. Says that Sophia gave me a real sense of peace about some decisions I need to make, and a sense of closure I haven't been able to achieve since a marriage breakdown. Now, the other quote: "Thank you for always being there for me and taking the time and listening to me. 7+ years and still as amazing as ever." So, and forgive me, I don't know a lot about this world. Okay. So, to talk, for somebody to get a sense of peace about some decisions, and then for somebody else to say they've been, after 7+ years, are still as amazing as ever. So, do people? Is there like a sense of, like, I guess you just said, like, to find out the boyfriend didn't know about how bad he knew he had something, but didn't know it would be that bad. So I guess so. It is almost like a therapy session to some degree. Then,
yeah, for a lot of people it is, because they did not have that closure with, and like I said, that man might not, in his physical being, might not have been able to tell her what happened, but he's in heaven now, and he's like, his energy is very different. Like I said, those human emotions that would make him feel ashamed,
sure,
or something, he's not going to be able to come forth with here on earth, but he can on the other side. And
I wonder if they get anxious up there, because if I'm that guy, I'd be dying to let her know, hey, I didn't know.
He was, and it was a healing for him. It was a healing for her, because, like I said, they could kind of see what we're going through.
Sure.
And when we are going through rough times in our lives, they are going to come around more. They are going to be, it's like another angel on your shoulder sort of thing. And sometimes people are going through rough patches, like a bad marriage or a job issue or a health issue or something. And, they need that little support. from the other side. Like, Dad knows you lost your job, and you're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. And yeah, so it depends what people are going through in their life.
Sure. Do you between doing the readings, trying to figure out who's coming through, what they're trying to say, find out who they're talking to, then the whole emotional feeling of, because, most people, of course, they start crying and they remember and they're so happy to hear. You must be exhausted after, like what you're doing on Saturday when, at say, I don't know, I'm assuming probably 5-ish, 5:30, when the show's over, you must be just dead.
It is exhausting for me. When I was 21, I could do this all day. Now that I'm 31, it's a little more draining for me.
31 with a 45-year marriage. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was a baby. He married me on the other side.
Yeah, I was going to say it was negative. You were negative 15 when you got married.
Right. It is draining because I allow them to come through me. Like, I allow them to project a picture in my mind's eye, or to make me feel a health issue that's no longer there.
Right.
So they kind of, it could be a little heavy sometimes.
And I guess because you've recognized this, or you've known about the ability since you were younger. I guess you've had a lot of time with it, so I guess you're able to shut it off and let it come in.
I pushed it when I was young. It was scary for me. Young girl at night, kind of.
My goodness, yeah.
Yeah. So I did push it away for many years, and then when I got into my 20s, it started coming back like big time. So I used it for friends. Sometimes I would get messages for myself, but I would be a millionaire if I could use it for myself.
I bet, yeah.
It's meant to use, for other people. And my mom died 25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And she was my best friend. And I got nothing from her. And I'm like, Ma, come on, you're killing me here. Something, give me something. And it was over a year that I got nothing. And I feel that was the biggest loss for me in my life. And I had to feel that grief. I had to feel that loss. And I had to feel, she was a very religious woman, my mother, but she was like, am I going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? And I'm like, send me a sign that you're okay. And after a while, she did come through and all. And that's when I felt how much it would have meant for me for her to come through. So
Sure.
If I could give that to other people, and that's when I started doing it professionally.
And there's, it's not like, I've never heard a medium talk about this. You guys can't just reach out. You can't just kind of tap in and say, Ma, I need to talk to you for a second, and there she is, right? That doesn't work that way, right?
No, it doesn't work that way.
And then tell me too, why what is it? So, you even said it earlier, and I've heard other mediums say it too, that everybody has this ability. They just don't know it, or they don't know how to tap into it. Can you explain that a little bit?
It's a sixth sense,
right?
It is a sixth sense. Like, we see, we hear, and all of it. We all have it, Tony. It's just some of us, develop it more. It literally is, and I say this, and it's not a cliche. It's a muscle. The more you practice it, the more you will develop. The more you practice piano,
right.
you become better at it and more proficient at it.
Sure.
I had to find, people go, oh, meditate. And, I can't meditate. I can't shut my mind down.
You and me both. Me neither.
But I do find certain ways, going out, walking my dogs, out in nature really helps me. Even doing housework, cleaning a floor or doing dishes helps me because it's mindfulness. So my mind is in that direction. You have to find what works for you. And there's no right or wrong to it. But if you do try to quiet your mind and make a practice of it, it will get easier with time. And I do believe we are all born with it.
Okay. I'm confused about one thing, though. You just said that you like to, that nature helps you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in Staten Island, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no nature there, right?
Yes, there is. There's a lot of beautiful parks out here.
Is there?
It's not just the dump, which they made a park. It's full of deers. It's packed with deers now.
Really?
Really? We have a deer problem.
No, wow. I'm shocked. The dump and traffic. That's all I know.
We had a few immigrants that came over from New Jersey, the deers. They came across Arthur Kill, and they're just multiplying like crazy here.
Wow.
So we have deers, and we have really lovely parks here.
Oh, okay. All right, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. So one time I went to a taping, John Edward, when he had that TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how disappointed I was. And I'm not trying to knock the guy, but what happened was he got stuck on somebody, and I don't. So that's where I'm going. I want to know if you have the same issue. He couldn't get off this one person until something was validated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
this is so important.
Okay, but yeah, John was rattling off a bunch of stuff. This guy had none of it made sense to this man at all, and he couldn't figure it out. And it was towards the end of the tape. It was actually it was the last guy that he was on, because he was stuck on this guy for 45 minutes.
Oh wow!
The crowd was pissed. They were so mad. And that's what ended. This is how the day ended. So at that point, people were getting antsy. People who hadn't been picked for anything. So we're down to the last 45 minutes. People who hadn't been picked were hoping for their moment, and the last 45 minutes is stuck on this one guy for 45 minutes, saying no, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, no. And that's how it ended. So does that happen? Do you need that validation to keep going?
Look, I'm a Brooklyn girl. I'm a little tough with them. I have 3 boys, so I get the wooden spoon out with them, and I'm like, come on. As a matter of fact, I think there's a video on my website. There's this young girl that I was reading, and there was a young soul coming through, and it was her. I think it was her aunt had a baby that was born with a heart defect.
Oh wow!
And this little precious baby didn't last here that long, and it was actually his 10-year anniversary, and they released balloons, and he was telling me all this. I got the message. My mom wrote a message on the balloon. Tell mom I got the message.
Wow.
All this and that, and he impacted his little short life impacted so many people because they did a lot of charity work with this particular heart ailment and everything. And then I kept on wanting to move on, and the woman sitting next to her, I'm like, did your mom pass? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, was it breast cancer? And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah, but I'm hearing colon cancer. And the young girl gets hysterical, and she's like, but that's my mom. And I'm saying, okay, we got to tell mom to shut up now, because I wanted to move on. And that's the hard thing with doing events with a lot of people, because you could feel people's energy, them wanting to come to you. And you try to hit on as many people as you can. But everything I said after that, she was like, that's my mom. That's my mom. That's my mom.
Wow.
And I'm like, because I could kind of communicate. Again, it sounds a little schizophrenic. I could communicate with them when I'm talking to someone. And I'm like, what are you doing? What do you want your daughter to know? Come on, give it to me, And it was the fact that she was getting married in April, and she knew that she's going like this to me. She's showing me this. I says, are you sewing something? And she sewed her mother's picture to her shoes her mother was walking her down the aisle. And I think that video is on my website.
Wow.
And once she said that, I told her, okay, put down the microphone. We're moving on here, girl. You said your piece.
Right. You had your time. Right. That's a good.
That can happen. That can happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm a little tough with them.
And that's a good segue. That's when you turn to them and say, well, give them your card or something and say, for a private reading, I'll give you an hour full. Your mom will have an hour to talk just to you, and then you move on, right? Yeah. So, all right. So, this is all good stuff. This stuff. Like I said, I do think anything's possible, but it's so freaky to me. So you.
It's freaky to me too, Tony. Let me tell you, I can't figure it out. I try to make sense of it. I'm like, how do I do this? Like, how does this work? And I just let it go.
My family actually grew up with the Long Island Mediums family. I personally didn't know them that well, but my mother and my brother did. And and when when that show first became popular, I wasn't a fan. I like to watch the readings, but all that other stuff, the fighting and the kids and all. I was like, what is this?
That's like filler.
Yeah, like some stupid reality show. And she wasn't really. Again, I didn't know her terribly well, but she just didn't strike me as that. She wasn't. I don't recall her being much like that. But I had friends that were. So I started to wonder, if she was on the up and up. To be honest with you, but a lot of. Again, because we grew up with them, so we had a lot of mutual friends. Yep. So many of them, everybody I talked to, oh no, she did a reading for me, and she was spot on. So okay, cool. But so when you and I talked yesterday about setting this up today, you were nice enough to offer me a reading. Are we still good with that?
Are you?
Yeah, sure. I'm up for it. Why not?
Well, is there another Anthony in your family? Not father, but grandfather? 'Cause I keep on hearing the name over and over again. And I'm also getting a D or G initial around you.
There is another Anthony. He's not a grandfather, but there is another Anthony.
In the family?
Yeah.
Related on your paternal side?
Yes. Paternal. That's my mother's side, right?
Your father's side.
Oh, no. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. And the D and the G.
Anthony would be on your mom's side?
Yes.
It's her brother?
Oh, yeah. Spot on. The D and the G doesn't mean...
No, D, Donna, Diane, Dylan, David... Or G. I'm getting a D or a G initial. I'm feeling it's more female than male. And I'm feeling somebody on your mom's side. Or it could be a partner. You in a relationship now?
Not
to get personal.
That's all right.
Somebody, there's a female connection to this person with a D.
Yeah, nothing rings a bell there.
Put it on the back burner for now.
Okay.
But I just have to say I'm feeling really, really strong. And is your dad still here, Tony?
My dad?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Was there a chest issue that he passed of ultimately? There was two things he's telling me he was dealing with. But there was a chest issue.
Possibly, yes. I don't know a lot of details about his death, but it is from what I do know, it is possible that there was a chest thing.
Mom is still here?
Mom is still here, yes.
Okay, because he's giving a shout out to Mom.
Okay.
Was he kind of tough on the outside but mushy on the inside, your dad? Like he came across like, I don't want to say hard, but like a did he work with a lot of men?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay.
Don't go there.
Sorry.
I take it.
Okay.
Whose birthday or passing is the month of February?
Birthday or passing in February?
There's some celebration in the month of February. And this person who's connected with February, Tony, had some kind of GI issue, like I'm getting like in the midsection.
No, I don't, yeah, it doesn't ring a bell there either.
Think about the Anthony.
Okay. his birthday.
Don't say it.
Okay, sorry.
But somebody that he would be. You said it was your mom's brother.
Correct.
And was he married?
Yes.
There's got to be a D or G initial around this man. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to.
No, it's all right.
Somebody in his family, or his wife, or he had children with her.
Yes. And I'm sitting there going through their names.
I know.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, I'll mention all this to my mother. Maybe she'll.
Middle last name.
I'm sorry?
When I say an initial, it could be a first, middle, or last name.
Okay. Yeah, it might make more sense to her. I'll mention it to her. I'm actually going to see her in a little while. So, yeah, I'll run all this by her.
A B initial?
I'm sorry?
A B initial?
B. No B's.
I'm like, was your dad was the chest?
Yeah, possibly, yes.
But, this man, this Anthony,
right?
Did he have don't just yes or no? He didn't pass of an accident.
No.
He passed of an illness.
Correct. He did not. Yeah, he died of an illness. Yes.
Okay. Was it something that went throughout his body, like it impacted like a few organs?
Yes.
Did it start in like his stomach and his kidneys, his liver? I'm like right in my midsection here.
I honestly I don't recall where it started.
Okay.
But I do believe it was like midsection somewhere, but I'm not positive.
Because he's pointing like his midsection, his mid area.
Okay.
And who had an issue walking?
Well, he did towards the end, but I have an issue.
Knee?
Well, I have a prosthetic leg.
Are you kidding me?
No.
No, you wouldn't kid. Would you kid me?
There it is. There it is.
I believe you. I believe you. That's like a big validation. That's a big validation from your Uncle Anthony.
Oh, okay.
That because he's telling me, he's making me see someone like with a limp kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be me.
And that was an accident?
Me?
Uh-huh.
No, it was not. It was an illness.
Okay. Not that what that was what Anthony passed of.
Right.
But is there like some like distant connection? Because he's saying you're different. You're different.
Well.
But we know you're different.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not talking about illnesses there.
No. But there's some, and it's more than your name. It's more than the connection that you have with but he wanted to bring you into the reading, and the way he did it was you walking with like a little limp, a slight limp. I feel you do really good. But if you didn't hold up your prosthetic leg, I would have never known.
Yeah, I get everybody with that.
And is there a Michael or Mark or Matt?
There is a Michael, yes.
Who is that?
That would be Uncle Tony, I called him, but that would be one of his sons.
Okay. He had 3 children or 2?
No, he had 4. Has 4.
2 and 2? Was it 2 girls, 2 boys?
3 and 1. 3 boys, 1 girl.
Okay. None of their birthdays are in February, do you know?
I don't know their birthdays, but it actually, you know what? His oldest, Michael's oldest son might be February. I'm not positive, but I think he's February.
So Michael had a baby?
Yeah, Uncle Tony's son Michael has the 4 kids. The 3 boys and a girl, and I think the oldest boy might be February. Again, I'm not positive.
Is there something going on with him? Some kind of job?
I don't even know.
Okay, ask the mom when you see the mom.
Okay.
And all. And there's also, I feel I'm going, are both of your grandmothers crossed over?
Yes.
Is one an A initial or B initial?
A.
Anna?
Wow, yeah.
Okay. Because she's stepping forward now and she wants to take this opportunity to say hi to you. Was she like, you should tell me to watch it. Was she tough? Was she a tough lady?
She was a tough lady.
Because she's like going like, all right, I let everybody talk and now I have the floor. Now,
Yeah.
now I want to talk to my grandson.
That would be her.
She's a riot. She's a riot. I don't know if this is her. Did she have a lot of siblings?
She did.
Like a lot of sisters and.
Yeah, I'd have to think about. I forget because I didn't know a lot of them, but she was one of.
I feel like a big family. Like I feel like she
Yeah.
came from a big family and everything.
Yes.
And
yes.
Did she speak Italian? Like, did she know the Italian curses?
I think so. She wasn't like one of those off the boat Italians, but
no.
But I think she knew that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's like very down to earth, very grounded. Give you the heart, give you her heart, but she's a tough cookie.
Yeah, she was definitely a tough cookie.
She was a tough cookie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is her or I didn't say her husband's name, right?
No.
Okay. What is she showing me? Nobody was in the food industry.
Yeah, there is a food industry story with our family. Yes.
There is.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, because she was showing me. She was taking me like into the kitchen, but it's like no, it's more than that.
Yeah, because I tell the story all the time, so maybe this is her validating that she hears me or something. But
there you go.
Celentano, the frozen foods in the supermarkets. You're familiar with it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, we're related to them, and I don't remember if it was my grandfather or one of his brothers. Somebody got a phone call from somebody saying, this is going back, I think, to the 40s or 50s.
Oh, wow.
Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm so-and-so, and we have the same last name. He goes, I've been researching. I've been trying to find family. He says, I'm building up this food business, and I want to keep it in the family, so I'm looking for family members to invest, and we'll all be partners. And my family thought it was just somebody trying to scam them for money, so they turned it down.
No.
And yeah, so Celentano, all the frozen foods you see in the supermarket.
Oh, wow.
I would not be sitting here now if somebody said yes. But,
wow. All right.
But
well,
yeah, I'm assuming that's what the food industry. That's the only food industry story, connection that I know of in our family.
It. that was like a big thing.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for Anna.
Yeah.
You know, because she's showing me like food having to do with food, and I'm like I said, it's like you know, Anna, she's Italian, you know, cooking, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah,
you know,
she's always in the
she's like-
kitchen. Yeah.
and she's like, no, it's like she's showing me commercial.
There you go.
You know, she's showing me the trucks. Nobody was in the trucking industry.
Well, my father he briefly drove a truck for a particular company, but that's only trucking. I drove a truck for a short time.
Okay.
That's really the only things I can think of in trucking. We're not mobbed up, if that's what you're asking.
No, no, I'm not. But she was showing me a truck, Anna, passing with like a name. I couldn't quite catch the name, but like someone driving a truck and all. She's a pistol.
Yeah.
She didn't have birds, did she?
Birds?
Yeah. Like, you know, parrots or lovebirds.
No. I think my other grandmother had. I don't think she had birds, but maybe, so you know, some relatives that she lived with may have had birds at one time, like a parrot or something.
That's what I'm seeing. I'm
Yeah.
not seeing like birds. I'm seeing like birds in a cage.
Yeah, but that was my father's mother.
Okay, so we have her coming in with her little validation. There's somebody, Tony, I feel there's some kind of connection with they use things that I know in my life to get me to say certain things.
Sure.
And there's some kind of connection with one of your relatives with my grandfather, Vincent.
Oh.
And I can't quite make what about Vincent. They're getting me that they're trying to get me to say.
Okay.
I can't get it. I can't hear. Did somebody lose a younger not young, but to our way of thinking, like in their 30s or 40s?
Well, yeah, mentioning my father's mother, which, by the way, I think she may have passed in February. It was many years ago, so I don't remember too well.
That's
But it
okay.
may have been.
See if you could validate it with
Right.
someone.
but yeah, to lose somebody in their 30s, that was my father. Actually, he died in his 30s.
Okay. Because it was just like another validation that he gave me.
Okay.
I wasn't going younger than that, but he was taking me like right there as was it very quick that he died? I feel it was his chest. He's going like this to me, but he's saying it was pretty quick. If that makes sense or not to you?
I don't think it was definitely because I was young at the time, but it was definitely a few months, you know, between what happened and then him passing. So I don't know what you mean. You know what
he's
quick
saying that he felt something off, but he didn't address it. If that makes sense or not.
is. This in relation to what happened to what killed him? Is that what you mean?
I think so. His illness.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot about it. Like I said, I was young. I was only
All right.
10, so I didn't get a lot of details.
But
from it, so.
And why are they showing me a pair of shoes? did you have your dad's shoes, or did your mom keep your dad's shoes?
I'd have to ask my mother. I didn't have any shoes of his. I'd have to ask. I don't have anything. I have one item of his, and it's not shoes.
No, this is something, like the food truck.
Oh, right.
This is something very, very specific.
No.
I'm seeing, when kids take their sneakers and they tie the laces together.
Right.
That's what he's showing me, but they're not sneakers. They're shoes. They're like black. They're like shoes.
This might be a stretch, but I'm here at Governor's and I run a comedy troupe. We do audience interactive dinner theater shows.
Okay.
And just, I don't know, maybe a month ago, we were doing a show where I have a business partner and it's our troupe, and my business partner was hosting the show, and he had boots on. And he kicked the boots off in the middle of the show. I forget why. He was doing something funny, and he kicked the boots off. So what I did to mess with him, I tied the laces together and I threw them up.
No.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, right in the middle of the show, and he had no idea because he was, doing his job, working with the audience. So I did this while, and then when the show ended, he had. Of course, I didn't tell him, so I watched him for about a half hour looking for his boots. But that's the only thing I can think of when you talk about tying them up.
It's absolutely it.
Oh, okay.
Because he was very specific in tying it together.
Right.
And he was because I'm asking him for more information. He's telling me, the shoes, the boots, that works for me. But he was very specific in the tying together. So know that when you did that, your father was there and he was watching over, and he just thought it was hysterical.
It actually was in that particular show. We travel. We don't have our own facility. We travel. And that show happened to be in the town he grew up in.
Well, there you go. Another coincidence.
Yeah.
You could say, but don't you think that would be a good validation that you were in the town your dad grew up in?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He was very, I'm like, I knew they weren't sneakers. But I knew they were, leather. But he was very specific in the tying together. So your dad knows that you did that when you were in his town.
Right.
And did you go have pizza? He's talking about a pizzeria there.
No.
Why is he talking about pizza?
I have no idea.
All right, think about that.
I'll definitely think about that.
But the fact that it was his town,
right,
and he was very specific in that, was a good validation.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
He comes in, watches over you all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He's telling me you keep him busy. So I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, we'll take that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, probably.
And you're a good son. He's telling me.
Oh.
How you take care of mom.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that.
Okay. Well, he's giving it, so I'm just going to leave it at that too.
All right. Cool.
Sometimes your life is so busy and crazy and all, but when she really needs you, you're there for her. And that's important to him. And he's thanking you for that.
Yeah. All right. Very nice.
Okay.
Cool. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. That you took more time with that than I expected. So I really appreciate that very much. That was great.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. So it's this Saturday.
Yes, it is.
December 3rd, 3 o'clock. Doors open at 1 o'clock right here in the Giggle Room, which is right down the hallway from where I'm sitting right now. Come on down. Check out Sophia NY Medium. She's fantastic. You guys are going to have a great time. And you can go to govs.com to make your reservations. And are there any other appearances or anything that you want to just mention?
Not
while
right
you...
now. I kind of lay low around the holidays. And
Okay.
January, it's kind of like my vacay time.
Mhm.
So I kind of lay low. But
Good for you.
After that, we'll be working on some things. We have some things that we're working on.
Very
that'll
nice.
Be posted on my website.
Okay.
But thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
For the
Thank you so much.
opportunity. It was really, loved your show.
Oh,
and your
thanks.
questions.
Cool. I'm glad. So we'll do it again sometime.
Sounds good.
Great.
Sounds good. I'd like to meet you in person.
Would love that. Unfortunately, I won't be here Saturday. No, yeah, I won't. I'm playing Santa Claus all day Saturday.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I won't be here Saturday. But yeah, eventually we'll have to do that. I would love that.
We will hook up one way or another.
Sounds good to me. Thanks,
All
Sophia,
right,
very much.
Take care. You're very welcome.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
Well, there you go. Interesting, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if you guys even care because that was my own personal reading. Sounds like a lot of deer dump. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments now. Tapping into my muscle right now. Thank you, Fremder. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that, Donna. Oh yeah, yeah. She mentioned Michael, and yeah, I didn't piece that together with Donna. Yeah, and then realizing too, she said, does he have 4 children, 2 and 2? I was thinking Michael's, but Uncle Tony had 2 and 2, so I kind of messed that up, I guess. My mind was all over the place, trying to. And it's weird, like your mind scrambles trying to piece it all together and trying to have it all make sense. Even if you're not a believer, I think a lot of people do that. They're just trying to put it together because they're judging. They're trying to see how good this person is, so they're trying to make it all connect or not connect. But my mind was all over the place. But yeah, either way, it was fun. I don't put a lot of stock in that stuff, like all that stuff with my father. He's proud of you and all the stuff, and how you're taking care of your mom. First off, I'm not doing it much. But I don't think he really cares. So, yeah, I don't know. And I'm sure the messages aren't terribly clear. She doesn't know what she's referring to. She doesn't know what she's just calling it as she sees it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, I thought it was fun. And you could see Sophia this weekend here at Governor's in the Giggle Room. That's Saturday at 3 p.m. Doors open at 1. Eric Tartaglione is in the Giggle Room that night. The night before, on Friday, tomorrow night, Richard Aronovich. Joe DeVito's in the big room tomorrow night. And then Vic DiBettetto is in the big room Saturday night, along with Elise DeLucci. And I think Marla Schultz might even be involved in that one. So a lot of great stuff this weekend. Sunday night as well, there is a show with John Butera. Jay and Dan and a lot of the gang are going to be a part of that. So, yeah, looking forward to that. I wonder, maybe I'll do a show. Maybe I'll do something in here Sunday night. I can't do tomorrow. I can't do Saturday. Maybe I'll have to see. I mean, I gotta see how I feel after being Santa Claus. But, all right. I think that's going to do it for us. It is Thursday, it's December 1st, so there's nothing on tonight. But we're back here tomorrow. Me and Andy, back here tomorrow. Have a little fun with Andy. And I think there's Conversations tomorrow night. I know he's headed for another break soon, but I believe there is still another episode tomorrow night. So join us here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Me and Andy will be here. Once again, please like and share the show all over the place. We're trying to build up this Twitch feed and this Twitch channel. We appreciate all the support. So, and of course, I haven't said this in a while. If you're looking to do your own podcast, whether it's just video or just audio, whatever you want to do, or if it's just on your own platform or a part of Gov's, get in touch with us on our Facebook page, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Get in touch with us and we'll hook you up. We got the cameras and the mics and the seats and the chairs and the couches and the stuff and the all sorts of stuff, monitors and phone capabilities and Zoom capabilities that you just saw a podcast about podcasts. That's right, Andrew Fremder. We'll hook you up. So get in touch with us through our Facebook page, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That's the name of the Facebook page. That's the name of the YouTube channel. And, of course, here on Twitch, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. No S. I believe that's going to cover it for us today. Yeah. All right. So enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Time to start Christmas shopping. It's December. And Andy and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you enjoyed Sophia. We'll see you guys tomorrow.